Hello beautiful people, welcome back or welcome to my channel. For today's vlog, I didn't end up filming an intro because we're gonna jump right into me in Amsterdam in the end of the last Europe trip vlog. We woke up in Amsterdam because we took a sleeper train from Germany to Amsterdam. I didn't have a ton of privacy. I was with my family and I wasn't just gonna like vlog in our private space and like, you know, talk to the camera. And also because I'm super awkward and it's just I need to get better about filming myself in front of people, but also because it was so late. We didn't get into the train until after 11, and then I had to, you know, we had to lug our bags on and figure out the bed situation because I'm almost tempted to like draw a picture for you guys, but like I don't even know if I drew it would make sense. So there was two couches, right? One bed on the wall flipped over the couch on one side, and then another one flipped off the wall on this side, but higher. And then there was a third bed up here. Okay, so we were, you know, in a zigzag formation on the walls. I had the top bed. I am the youngest. I was with my parents, so I wasn't gonna make them climb up there. I mean, it was hard for me to climb up there. I had to like parkour off the other beds to get up there. And while for the experience, I think that it's a good experience to have, but I will say for the next like 3 days, I couldn't stop having motion sickness. I like getting in the shower. I was standing still in the shower and I thought that I was moving. We went to dinner at the hotel when we got into Belgium, and I was sitting in a chair and I kept almost like actually falling out of the chair because my brain was telling me that I was moving to one side or the other. So if you're prone to motion sickness, wouldn't recommend. I mean, I get motion sickness and like car sick pretty often. I mean, having POTS, that is, you know, I am dizzy constantly. But motion sickness is a different thing, of course, but I feel like it didn't help that I have POTS to get this motion sickness. My mom also suffered from motion sickness from the sleeper train. Though I don't think it was as bad, it still is not like a good experience to wake up after moving all night, and none of us ended up getting good sleep. I mean, I slept for a couple hours and would wake up and then sleep a couple hours and wake up. I do remember I got up in the middle of the night to put my AirPods back in the case because I put them in to watch a video to go to sleep. So that I was feeling around the bed in the dark trying to find my AirPod because it fell out of my ear. So that was fun. But unfortunately for this trip, we didn't have a lot of time in Amsterdam. We had from 6 a.m. when we got in on the train till I think 4 p.m. I think like 3 or 4 p.m. is when our afternoon train left. I can't remember correctly. I think it was around then. The first thing we did after getting off the train was we just admired how beautiful the city was. The train station itself was gorgeous. The architecture is crazy. Nothing like you would see here. And then we sought out coffee. There wasn't a ton of things open yet. Again, it was probably about 6:30 by the time we were looking for food. We were looking for coffee, for breakfast, whatever we could find that was open. There wasn't a ton of options, but we did find one place. We got some coffee. We prepared ourselves for what we needed to do for the day, and we were trying to really maximize our time there. After we went to this restaurant, we went back to the train station. We needed to go back to the train station to get a train to where the tulip fields that we were visiting were, and that was harder than it seemed like it was supposed to be because it was kind of off the beaten path. Like there wasn't an exact spot where the trains like were right next to it, which makes sense. I mean, it's in like the countryside, so the closest station was probably like a 15-minute walk or something. But we ended up getting to a train station. We walked around for a while trying to figure out where we were supposed to go from that train station. We did end up getting an Uber. Those do exist in Europe if you were curious. So we got an Uber. It was a very nice lady. We had a nice chat with her and she told us a bit more about Amsterdam, and we were telling her about like where we're from and all the pleasantries. And she dropped us off and we got to go see the tulip fields. They were beautiful. From there, we did get an Uber back to a train station, like a closer train station, and then we went back to Central Station from there, and then that's when we found like a pub to go to. I ended up getting a Dutch pancake. The Dutch pancakes were very similar to crepes almost. They're very, very thin, but they're huge, which I didn't finish it. I I mean, there was way too much, but they have like fun toppings and like inclusions, like they'll put the fruit inside of it. Like I got a banana one, so there was like slices of banana inside of the pancake. And from there we went to the Van Gogh Museum, which was absolutely gorgeous. I hate to say it because obviously Van Gogh is a very famous painter and it might be like basic to really like Van Gogh, but I really enjoyed that museum. It was probably one of my favorites we went on in the entire trip, but it also could be because then the beginning of the trip had a lot of the really good stuff that I was really excited for before going. But prior to going to the Van Gogh Museum, I already knew quite a bit about Van Gogh because once upon a time I used to do a lot of art stuff and I used to really like art history. I took art classes in high school, and Van Gogh, of course, was one that I definitely looked into a lot because he was very popular and all the Pinterest girlies really liked Van Gogh. And you know, I don't tend to want to be a trend follower, but I was still really interested in his story, and I got even more from his story going to the museum, and I really enjoyed that experience. I was also just really excited to share like my experience with learning about Van Gogh, like with my parents and stuff, and like share like, oh yeah, like this and this happened to him when he was doing art, and just, you know, the whole experience was great. But after the Van Gogh Museum, unfortunately, that was the end of our time in Amsterdam. We had less than 24 hours there, and then we were off to Belgium. We got to Belgium in the early afternoon. We went to Brussels, and our first night there wasn't too eventful. We did go to the hotel restaurant, which the hotel was nice, but the restaurant was not my favorite. Didn't really get to eat anything. It's one of those fancy places where like they don't give you a lot for a lot of money, like not worth it, honestly. And again, I didn't really eat anything, and that's where I was still suffering really bad motion sickness, so I took my leave quite early. I left my parents down there and I went back to my room, and I, you know, took a shower, a motion sickness filled shower, and then I went to bed. Unfortunately, I didn't end up talking to you guys a whole lot when I was in Belgium, so I do apologize that I do have to do like an editing Gwen segment for a lot of this beginning part of the video, but I still want to show you guys what we were doing and show you the b-roll I got, because I mean, it's still really beautiful, but context is important. We got up the next morning bright and early, got ready, and we had to catch a bus for a day tour at about 8 a.m. so we went and found coffee, and this was the only like guided tour we took for the entire trip, but it was very much worth it. It was great. Though we did start off the day already pretty chilly. That didn't start the day with a good look because we were going to be outside for most of the day. On the bus tour, we went to Luxembourg and we spent a good chunk of our day in Luxembourg and got to tour some places. To run rampant for very long. We didn't get to just like go do whatever. But one coincidence was the people behind us on the bus. There was people next to us on the bus that were also from here, which is just, the coincidence is crazy. Luxembourg was gorgeous, and just like all these other places, and you're probably gonna hear this a million times from me because I'm a broken record, I wish I had more time in all these places. Then we went from Luxembourg to Dinant, which is another city in Belgium, and we got to again walk around for a little bit. We only had probably like 45 minutes in Dinant, maybe like an hour. We walked around the city a little bit. Our tour guide was, you know, telling us stuff about the city and was telling us about this really well-known beer from Dinant and was telling everybody to try it. Actually, I think it was an hour that we had in Dinant because I think he talked for 30 minutes and then we got 30 minutes to do whatever we wanted and get back to the bus. By the time we were actually like let loose to roam free, we only had about like 25 minutes, 20 minutes, and that seems like a lot of time, except for when you're walking like down the street and you're trying to find like a bar to go into or something, you know, like it's not necessarily the easiest thing. So we did find somewhere to sit in. We only had like 10 minutes in there though, and then we had to get back to the bus, and then we went back to Brussels. back to Brussels, and from there I will let Gwen in Belgium take over. I apologize for how little I vlogged this day. There just wasn't a lot of time to vlog, and again, vlogging in public just isn't my thing. It never will be my thing, but that's just because I have anxiety. Okay, crippling anxiety. But enjoy the rest of the video. It's unfortunate that the weather conditions were so drastically different than they were the last few days, especially like coming from Berlin when it was like 70s to then coming to Belgium and then it being low 40s, very windy. It didn't rain until we actually got on the bus back to Brussels, thankfully. It's been a really long day and I look very disheveled. My hair is very poofy right now because of how windy it was. I had to brush out my curls because it was just so windy that it was getting tangled. When you brush out wavy slash like curlier hair, it just puffs up, you know? But I just want to touch base with you guys. It was a good day. There was a lot of really cool sights to see. It was very beautiful. And I'm very excited to go to Paris tomorrow. I know that, I mean, obviously this has been kind of like a hectic trip, you know, like going from one stop to the next like every few days, but thankfully in Paris I'm staying 3 nights, so it's a little bit more than I've been staying in places. Like so far 2 has been our maximum. I'm very excited to have more time in Paris. I mean, I wish I had more time everywhere, but that's just not really plausible, you know? I mean, I'm already here for 15 days in total, and that's still like not enough time because overall it's 6 countries counting Luxembourg. I mean, Luxembourg took all day today. We also went to Dinant, but I mean, Luxembourg was a large part of today, and that took up like a whole Belgium day. So tomorrow we really didn't have time in Brussels. It's mostly sleeping, eating, catching trains, and just enjoying the beautiful architecture. Just wish we had more time. But I will say I am so tired. I know that I've been very disheveled, I feel like, in this vlog. Hopefully this next leg of the trip I can start to feel a little bit better. I've just felt very tired, disheveled, just not put together, which is unfortunate. I mean, when you're coming here and you're going to nice places, I mean, you want to dress up. I mean, I brought two pairs of heels, for Christ's sake. I did wear one of them last night. It wasn't for very long, but today's just been a long day. When we got off the bus and like even after getting done with the tour and everything, we got off the bus and we're going to try to go to this place for dinner, and it said it was open online and on Google Maps and everything, and then it was closed. That was a whole thing, and now it's probably like 11:30 now, so I need to go and shower and go to bed. I am very tired, and I will talk to you guys in the morning. Probably share more about the trip and stuff, but I just don't have it in me right now. So good night. I will see you guys in the morning. Good morning, everybody. It's about like 8:30, which is the latest I've woken up on this trip, and that may not seem that late. I've been putting in a lot of like physical exercise, putting in the work, so it's definitely like it's not like pertinent to get sleep. It also kind of feels bad to wake up that late when this is my last day in Belgium, and it's not even a full day. I'll be leaving for Paris at noon. I'm starting to pack stuff up, which again is a nightmare, and then I'm gonna go find coffee. I don't know if you guys can hear that. There's a cathedral literally like right behind the hotel. It's playing music right now. It's playing music / bells. There we go. There's the bells. It did this on the first day here, like the first night that I got into Belgium, and I was so confused where the music was coming from. It's coming from the cathedral. It's coming from the cathedral. Don't worry, I figured it out. Either way, I only have like 3 hours until I've got to leave. So I'm gonna get dressed, brush my teeth, and get ready. And since I've only got about like 3 hours until I have to leave or like go to the train station, which thankfully is like right down the street, I'm gonna get dressed and make myself presentable and go find coffee so I can enjoy a little bit more of the city before I have to leave. I haven't gotten like footage of me while I'm like out and about, but people already, I swear, people just like, they look at me. They don't really like stare, but anyways, I'm gonna go. Bye. The lighting is kind of off in here. I apologize. I've been waiting to try this Red Bull with you guys, so I'm going to try it. It is so cute, the little pink can. She's cunty. Okay. This is forest berry, I believe. It smells kind of just like raspberries. Oh, it is sugar-free. I thought this was a full sugar one. That's pretty good. The one that I usually, or like when I used to drink Red Bulls, the one that I would drink is the Kiwi Apple Summer Edition, the lime green one that isn't available anymore, or it's really hard to find. But I would say, like, and I feel like that is like the best one overall, but I'd say this is like a 9 out of 10. This is pretty good. I'm not sure if this is available in the States. It probably is. I mean, it's the spring edition, so it probably just came out, but either way, I wanted to try it with y'all. This is the taste testing portion of today's vlog. I got these Dutch candies, and I mean, they didn't have a smaller bag, unfortunately, but because I feel like eating all these is definitely, eating a lot of these will give me a stomachache. But I wanted to try them with you. There's like these. Now, what does that look like to you guys? Okay, well, oh my god, that's a weird texture. I've seen people try things like this on TikTok. Fluffy gummy. It's like a gummy, but it's a fluffy kind of like, I know people have described like Dutch or like Swedish candies as kind of marshmallowy, but marshmallow is just not really the right word. But I just wanted to try these with you guys. These have been all over my For You page. I mean, mine's a little disheveled, but it's a little mushroom. Is it gonna focus? There's a bright light right here. Little mushroom marshmallow. Oh my god. I am not a big marshmallow fan. I don't really like marshmallows. I think they're way too sweet, but that texture is crazy. Seems so dramatic, but it is like a marshmallow, but gummy. It's, the mushrooms are good. These fry ones, this one's a sour one. I'm more of a sour candy fan. I don't try to eat a lot of candy, but sour is usually my go-to. Now we have a little strawberry. Okay, in my opinion, the strawberry ones kind of taste like strawberry soap, like the shampoo or like body wash you'd use when you were like a really young child. That's what the strawberry one tastes like, or like the really artificial strawberry like lip gloss you would get as a kid. But the marshmallow mushrooms, these hit. So I'm gonna drink this. I gotta leave for the train station to go to Paris. I just finished packing up, and I'm telling you, I think I am defying some kind of laws. I'd say I'm defying the laws of physics or some kind of law with how much shit I've packed in those bags and how I've gotten it to fit every single time so far. I have no room, but I have to go. I will chat with you guys later. Hopefully I can get some vlog or get some footage while I'm like at the train station or in the train. I will see you guys when I'm in Paris. That's probably the next time I'll talk to you guys, when I get into my hotel. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed, and I will see you guys in the next video. Goodbye.